To rapper Lil Mosey. He was found not guilty in a rape case that he caught, which I was kind of confused about it. Found out a little bit more about it. Apparently, and by the way, he came out with a whole thing. So if you don't know, he actually went through trial. I didn't even know he was on trial. I didn't know he got charged, but really, and I want to say that's the reason why his career went down. Obviously he did have Blueberry Faygo and all that type of stuff, right? Um, it felt like his career just kind of halted for a bit. And Lil Mosey, let me see, 2021 arrest. I'm gonna try to get y'all some. Okay, so he was charged with some oh word. They hating on my ad blocker again. It's all good. Oh, I got through. Oh, they blocked me again, bitch ass niggas. The Chronicle. Okay, here we go. Let's see if I can find an older article that kind of showed more of the details. All right, here we go. So this is a thing from last year. Essentially, so he got charged. Apparently, this is something that went down, and I'll give you the important details. January 6th, 2020, right? Apparently, I'm not sure where this happened, but actually, I could probably find out now. This is in Randall. So I guess this is Randall somewhere. Is this Randall? Is Randall? I'm not sure what state. Sorry, I'll probably find out as I'm going. Anyway, so this is a story from what I've kind of figured it out to be. There were three dudes, right? There were three dudes. There were three dudes who invited two women over, or at least two women. They rented a cabin, and I have to think, and this is just me trying to use some context clues, people. I have to think that January 2020, right? Maybe they rented the cabin for, I don't know, let's get lit for New Year's Eve, right? Because it's close to New Year's Eve. Apparently, they rent the cabin. They got some girls that come through to send third. And then apparently what is alleged is that a woman has sex with two dudes, right? One is Mosey, one is the friend. According to her, she said she was blacked out, but she kind of came to consciousness and noticed both of those dudes. So she says she could have had sex with more people. But she said when she kind of came back into consciousness, she was like, whoa, what the fuck? Like, she's having sex with one of the guys. She kind of blacks out again. She says she kind of comes back into her consciousness. She sees another guy having sex with her. Those are the guys who get charged. One's Mosey, one's his friend. He's 20 now, or actually he's 21 now. Prater was 19. At the time, I think he was 19, and the other kid was 18. They got charged with one count of second-degree rape in 2021 in April. They got out on bail. They had to go through the virtual portions of this, kind of case. And, yeah, they were also tried. My bad. I can't see it. Sorry. They were also tried together. They were trying to separate the cases, but they're saying that they were tried together. They went through a whole bunch of pre-trial proceedings, basically, essentially saying, yo, we can't use some of her or his past to be in the case, and which means they can't victim shame the woman to say, yo, oh yeah, we know that she used to do these things in her past, which maybe means that she was consent, whatever the case is. Anyway, let me read the story. The victim reportedly told the police she had gone to a party in Randall to see Eccles on the 6th and had consumed alcohol. He then reportedly got in a car with the victim and her friend, at which the point the victim and Eccles they both agreed they had consensual sex. Okay? They both agreed they had consensual. according to the defense and the prosecuting attorneys. The victim stated she blacked out soon after and woke up to Mosey and the friend assaulting her inside the Randall residence. What? Okay. This is confusing, but what it sounds like, it says the girl had sex with Lil Mosey earlier, right? They get in the car. The girl's friend is there. I guess she was a witness. And they admit, yo, we just had sex, right? And it seems consensual. The woman says it's consensual. But what probably happens is she continues to drink, and then she gets blacked out. I guess he has sex with her again, right? And then the friend has sex with her too. And according to her, that it's not consensual at that point. You get what I mean? Because the victim's underwear has been entered into evidence, they asked the court to allow him to use details related to consensual sex that took place in the car. Oh, okay. So they're saying, yeah, they had sex early in the car, then they had sex again, I'm guessing. Whatever. They said, mentioned details on what he called victim's flirtatious behavior at the party, and said he needed to argue that she's lying about the whole situation. Is it appropriate? Blah, blah. It is appropriate to follow the defense into detail related to the sexual intercourse in the car, but I don't think it needs to go beyond those type of details. Evidence related to victims' consumption of drug or alcohol would not be allowed, as that is related to her ability to consent. Okay, whatever. Now, the trial already happened, so let me just go to the final thing. And I just want to give you guys some info, because sometimes we see these cases, like Yella Beezy had one, and like it's confusing. And I ain't gonna lie, these things are like really alarming when you see them, because sometimes you read it and you're like, it seems like you could get charged with these things for anything. Anyway, following roughly 7 hours of deliberation, a trial began last week that resulted in a not guilty verdict for rappers Lathan Mosick Eccles, which is Lil Mosey, and Joshua Darrow, who performs under the stage name of Mosey, and Band Kid J. Both were acquitted on second-degree rape charges that were filed in 2021. The two were accused of having sex with a victim at a party in Randall on January 6th, while she was incapable of consenting due to intoxication. A third man was charged in the case, who performs under the stage name Cisco Go Crazy. He'll face trial separately due to witness statements affecting Prater's case, specifically required further follow-up investigation by defense attorneys. The trial is scheduled to begin May. The victim reportedly told police she had gone to a party. Oh, shit, you can't see it again, sorry. She had gone to a party in Randall to see Eccles, consume alcohol, and eventually blacked out. She later realized she had been raped and reported the incident to law enforcement. Witnesses who testified during the 7-day trial, including Eccles himself, as well as the alleged victims and others who attended the Randall party where the alleged incident occurred. Okay, I read it wrong. One of those witnesses included a female friend of the victim who was closely involved with the victim in the aftermath of the incident. Lil Mosey successfully passed 2 polygraph tests conducted prior to his testimony in court. Oh, so he did testify. Okay, so he testified in court. Okay, good. Hey, in this particular case, since you are being accused, and it's probably wise if you didn't do it to testify. In that shooting case though with Tory, I still think that it's not wise for him to get on the stand. According to his defense attorney, blah blah, the polygraph tests were not admitted as evidence in court. Darrow did not provide any testimony, so the other guy did not testify at trial, but he did state that he was asleep in a different part of the house when the alleged incident occurred, and Lil Mosey supported Darrow's narrative. So basically, he said that, I guess he's saying whatever she said happened, the other dude was sleeping. Expert witnesses called to answer questions related to their field include a detective and a deputy with the Lewis County, blah, blah, blah. The jury began deliberations, Okay, cool. Evidence presented to the jury included statements from the alleged victims and witnesses, police reports, crime photos of the cabin where the party occurred, a sexual assault kit, Okay, cool. 3 videos were recorded during the party, and at least one was posted to social media, which were admitted as evidence. The jury requested to review those videos a second time, blah, blah. The jury did not provide explanation for the verdict. When speaking to the Chronicle reporter, this was very alarming to me when I read this. When speaking to a Chronicle reporter about the trial after the verdict was delivered, O'Rourke said that from his point of view, there was insufficient evidence to establish Eccles' guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. In addition, he said there was evidence to suggest that Lil Mosey was not involved in the incident at all. From my standpoint, just having done this a long time, the evidence did not suggest he was a part of it. He added, there are other suspects out there, but didn't specify who, that saying that in the jurisdiction of law enforcement in Lewis County, blah, 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 whatever. He said it was never about bashing the two women who testified, police said, referencing the alleged victim and her friend. Darrow never considered accepting a plea for a lesser charge. Polito said instead counted on a jury reviewing the evidence to confirm his innocence. What I can say is I'm glad that it's not a man that's getting locked up for something he didn't do, right? Again, I don't know the nature of this case. I don't know the situations about it, but this is one of them type of joints where you're always kind of scared of any situations that involve women where somebody is unsure about some shit, because it looks like, just from the outside looking in, people got two different accounts, because they're saying, yeah, we had sex with a girl. They're saying it was consensual. The chick says, nah, it wasn't. Who do you believe? All right. Anyway, he did post on his Instagram, and he posted a video, and he says, spent 2 years of my life going through the storm, and I'm happy to say that God finally brought the truth to light. Thank you. Okay? He put this video as well. I think he got music. I might have to mute it.
I grew up, it was risk, it was tragic, it was risk. Pull up and I'm scoring. I'm just tryna ball like Michael Jordan. I'ma answer when you call it. Pick you up when you fall it.
Yeah, that was it. I looked at a TMZ article as well. I think I seen something there that was yeah. So look, right here. My bad, chat. The fuck? The affidavit obtained by hold on. Yeah. So he was looking at life in prison. The affidavit obtained by TMZ said one of the women consented to have sex with Eccles while in the car, but blacked out after drinking. And she claims she woke up to him and another man forcing themselves on her. Which, see, okay, so maybe I'm revising the story. It looks like she agreed that they're going to have sex, but they're in the process of drinking, right? So they're probably drinking, the party to have a good time. She basically say, yo, yeah, we're going to fuck, like, certain time, right? And the prosecutor said this. So the prosecutor is saying, yo, she agreed that they are going to fuck. She agrees with it. So she consented while sober, but then she got drunk. And once she gets drunk or blacked out, she couldn't consent. And all she remembers is that she's waking up and she sees two dudes. I don't know if she sees them at the same time or it made it read like it was two different times. She's like, and now she said, nah, this is not this is not consensual sex. This is rape. The woman said she had bruises on her arm, neck, and knee as a result. Docs later revealed that the alleged victim admitted to having consensual sex with the rapper in the past. Yeah, this is one of them tough situations where, like, just honestly, there's no recourse for him, right? So he loses 2 years of his life. You know, I think he wasn't locked up, though. So he was out on bail, but he loses 2 years of his life. Traction all out the window. Could Lil Mosey pull another rabbit out the hat with another fucking huge hit song, I don't know, maybe he can. But losing 2 years of relevance because now you gotta like lay low, this and third. Like he's probably spent maybe millions of dollars in attorney fees. But at least he got his freedom, I guess. But now his life is definitely in turmoil and probably has to pick up the pieces trying to get some money up now. Who knows? Maybe his family had to sell stuff. Like, he got to move around a little bit. So, my prayers for everybody in the situation. I don't want to say who I believe or who I don't believe, but shoot, you got to feel bad for the person who has to go through this and then they get found not guilty. And what do? They'd be like, oh, okay. So all that 2 years of hell was just, they're not going to be like, oh, here's a check for you being not guilty. They're going to be like, all right, brother, go ahead. Yeah. And I see some people saying sue these chicks. That's not appropriate for everybody, right? Like, it would be appropriate if people are deliberately making up lies, right? But in some of these situations, right, people just have a difference of opinion. Like, and we see this a lot, right? We see this a lot. Bro, sometimes the girl just wanted to fuck only the star. Bro, shorty, again, I'm reading between the lines. Bro, she wanted to fuck Lil Mosey, right? She agreed to it before. They fucked before. She wanted to fuck Lil Mosey. Lil Mosey's dusty friend? Hell nah. No disrespect to the other guy, but like, hell nah. So she draws the line right there. Hell nah, I don't want to fuck that nigga. Like, remember the whole thing with Kai? I think she was like, yo, Kai, Kai's dusty friend? Fuck no. It's one of those things that unfortunately, I don't even know no fucking good advice I could give for this. What would be the good advice? Be like, jerk off? Like, stay away from women? I mean, definitely, alcohol seems to be a key part of it, but it's like, people drink alcohol as part of socialization too, but I don't know, man. By the way, I don't know if you guys ever heard, Freddie Gibbs had one of these before. Freddie Gibbs, he beat his case. The craziest part about Freddie Gibbs' case, basically in court, it came out that they never even had sex at all. You know what I mean? Look, I'm going to show you. Here we go. Oh, this was a statement. Look, real name, Frederick Tipton. The only thing that his shit was overseas, like in Sweden, and they didn't want him to leave, so they locked him up for a while. Oh, it was France, actually. France. Oh, no. It was France, but they shipped him to Austria. And like everybody keep talking about the U.S. justice system. In those other countries, like Romania and them other places, they just like throw your ass in jail until they're done doing whatever they do. Yeah, if you look into this Freddie Gibbs case, it actually if you look into his case, it actually says that there were evidence to suggest he never even had sex with the woman at all. Which is like, what? It's crazy. Somebody said, how you get locked up overseas, though, you gotta be crazy. So I guess certain countries work with certain countries. They put out the word that there was an arrest warrant for him in Austria, and when he was in France, they nabbed him. Like, if it was in the U.S., I'm not sure if they would have made it a big enough deal to get like an extradition thing going on, but they didn't have to do that with France. All right, people. Somebody says, oh, that's a good question. Somebody says, who provided the alcohol for these minors? Ah, that's a good question. Yeah, Mosey, he's young. He's like 19, 20. Or it was like 20. He's like 20 now or 21. When this happened, he was like 19. So who did provide the alcohol? Hmm. All right. Mosey, again, I hope he takes some time to heal. If you've ever been falsely accused of anything, you get what I mean? Or shoot, it doesn't even have to be an accusation. If you've been set up, if especially when it comes to situation with like women, right? Remember I told you about that story about the girls that lied on me saying that we were trying to rob a dorm, right? But she did it to save her job. I ain't gonna lie to you. Like, well, I identified those girls as certain type of women. I kind of didn't fuck with women like those for a bit. Like, you kind of feel a little anger. What I'm saying is that I think it's kind of normal that coming out of this situation, Mosey's probably gonna be very distrusting of females, or maybe particular females. And you never know, there might be a little bit of hatred. It's not because he just has some contempt for women in general, but while he was going through this ordeal, he probably said to himself, not just this one person did this to me. He might have like extrapolated to say, oh, it's these fucking white bitches that did this to me or some shit. You know what I'm saying? That's an example, right? So who knows? He might have some hatred there. Cause I ain't gonna lie, after that shit happened, where that chick lied and said that we were trying to rob that building, like, I ain't gonna lie, man, I hated them bitches. I still hate them bitches now. Yeah. These are some of the pictures. I don't know who his band J Kid is, but it's probably his mom. That gotta be emotional. Wow. All right. All right, people. What else we talking about? I'm happy for Lil Mosey, man. Obviously we do draw a line with certain heinous crime in communities and in the world. And when you hear stories or you hear the news that people like Harvey Weinstein, who undoubtedly is just a serial predator, getting arrested or getting sentenced to however long he got sentenced to because he victimized women, you know, that's a good thing. The right thing was done. But also, it's a very thin line sometimes with like having dragging someone like Mosey through a whole ordeal for years on end, and just fortunately for him, he's one of the innocent ones. So yeah, you got a story to tell. All right. Somebody said talk about Alex Murdaugh. I don't know nothing about it. I've been seeing that shit been dominating YouTube. I don't know who been watching that. Things been watching that shit like the OJ trial. Oh, I should talk about Yeet sales real quick. I ain't gonna lie, Yeet is pretty impressive, man.